Alright guys, so this electric motor came into our shop and I have absolutely no idea what's wrong with it. Electrically it seemed to test okay, and mechanically I didn't, find any up and down play in the shaft, forward or back, anything like that. But what I did want to talk about, since I have this video on my phone, is the efficiency of these electric machines. So this one is rated at 93.6% efficient. So what does this mean? That means that 93.6% of the electrical energy going into this thing is being converted into mechanical energy. That is a very efficient electric machine. Somebody asked me in a previous video why I called it a drive end and an opposite drive end, if I would call it a non-drive end. But if we were putting parts back together and I said it goes on the non-drive end, it might sound like I said it goes on the drive end. There's not a lot of moving mechanical parts to these things. We have a rotor, we have a winding, we have bearings, and we have these end bells. The rotor's not going to spin because the weight of the rotor is now off the bearing and is sitting inside that stator stack. We pull the end bell off, we have another bearing, we have a dust shield that's going to help protect our winding in here, and that is about it. Digging around the electrical box, I did find this little beauty down here in the corner, and I did find a missing wire nut, so I'm guessing that made a ground contact there. They probably got some sparks, tripped a breaker, and it came to us. We're going to test run this thing. We'll clean up the shaft a little bit if it does run, so we're going to go ahead and push the power button and see what happens. If you've watched any of the previous videos, you'll notice that we always kind of jog these motors over. So we do that to make sure that nothing is going to fly apart, that no sparks are shooting out of the machine. But we do got to be careful, too, of our collapsing magnetic field when we re-energize it and create another rotating magnetic field. At this point, we can use some emery cloth and clean up this shaft. As always, make sure that you are wearing safety glasses or safety squints. Make sure there is no key in that keyway because it is going to fly out of there like nobody's business and probably smack somebody across the shop in the eye. Now that we know that this motor works, we can go ahead and make sure that our shaft is super duper clean. And then we can tape this thing off. We can paint it, prep it, get it all back wrapped up on a pallet, and back to the customer. This is always my favorite part, as you've always noticed. I love to paint things, make them look nice and fancy and clean. When they pick this thing up, they're going to be like, whoa, 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 you're supposed to fix the motor we dropped off. You weren't supposed to give us a brand new motor. Even when they look inside that pecker head, I painted inside that, made sure not to paint over their little connection diagram so they can connect this thing right back up, get back into business. And as always, I appreciate the likes, comments. If there's something specific that you guys want to see or want me to talk about, drop it below. Cheers, guys.